Hello boys, my name is Coolyoshi and welcome back to my 100% playthrough, walkthrough ever, of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD for Switch. In the last episode, we left off doing some miniature stuff and a couple of other things. However, during all that time, we finally opened up Lanryu mining facility. So we're gonna take on it as our third dungeon. And it's really important because doing so will give us access to an army of side quests. I mean like an army, hundreds of side quests. It is very important that we complete this as decently quickly as we can. So you might see some faster gameplay here. I do have a small bomb bag as well, that'll help a little bit. We'll start off by triggering this bird. Well, I guess this isn't really a bird statue, but we'll still save at it because it's easier to do so. Okay, that was very unfortunate he hit me. That enemy usually never hits me. That was probably because he was already active when I was there. Oh, this should punish him. Good. There we go. He's dead now. How hard? Okay, I probably should stop doing that now. It's really funny the first time you do it. Okay. First actual chest in here. I want to kill these scorpions if we're low because they drop a decent amount of hearts. It was like, for a second I thought I wasn't using motion controls, and I did not know, by the way, that I didn't have a strength. That's kind of bad. In fact, that one's a little bit farther back than before. Okay. Because I paused there, I did not know that I did not stop for a little bit. I thought I did, but whatever. Alright. Nothing but one rupee back there. Having the fully upgraded beetle makes this dungeon way easier, that's for sure. I guess in addition to other sounds, the beetle does also sort of make a weird sound when it runs into stuff. Barely enough to go in there and also get on the spot at the same time. By the way, you can make it a little bit further in the sand by purposely sinking in it for a little bit and then going out. That's your key to get over it without taking damage. And yes, you have to pull the bars to get through. Oh, hang on. There's our shield. We need to let it attack us first. That's one of the easiest ways of killing them, is to just do that. Makes it otherwise tricky dungeon a little bit easier. I think it's another one of those bar puzzles. Actually, I could just check my map to see if that area is locked or not. Do I only, like, need one? I feel like I only need one, yeah. Easy enough. Okay, simple enough for now. Now into the main room with another save point. And yes, this game has gotten important to the point where I am saving after every major thing just to make sure I'm safe. And yes, by the way, in case I didn't know, the reason why I upgraded the wind shield was for this dungeon. It's the best non-electric shield you can get at this point of the game. Which means that is technically also going to be the last time we're going to see it. Because once I get the Iron Shield, I'll basically be using that non-stop, and then the Divine Shield soon after, because those are way better and block both fire and electricity. Okay, that's one way of taking care of a jelly. Or choo-choo in this case. I just straight up run to the side and doesn't even do anything. And a free item in here, so it's probably gonna be a small key. And we can't go up there. And all the other areas are blocked, so this theoretically goes to other stuff. Also, I find after all that, I didn't actually show Link's falling animation. Which, it's not as crazy as the sand animation sound noise that he makes, but it's still kind of goofy in its own way. But I'm not talking about it because it's actually not as good. You might see that later in Skyloft. In fact, if it happens in Skyloft, we get a unique phrase. I'm waiting at first because I'm probably gonna make a mistake at some point during the run and accidentally jump off somewhere. So this guy, in case you're wondering what to do, you can slice him, but only when he is not showing his pines. Basically, think of it as a porcupine. And also, they're explosive, so you can't actually really do anything with them. You can, however, run into them to explode, so at least... So there you saw both the way to do it and to not do it. The best way to do it is, as you saw there, just... Ah. That was bad. I need to adjust my thing. I think if I do jumps, I can just make it past them before they actually attack me. Alright. This dungeon's not quite as bad as the previous one. Once you know where to go, that is. Okay, I kind of got a little vengeance on that guy. He did the double clip again, which you might remember. Where he AO'd me a couple of times. Hit me a couple times, rather. Oh, this whole area is blocked off right now. Whenever you forget where to go, you basically have no choice but to look at your map. Your map shows you an idea. If you see an area where stuff hasn't been happening... Okay. I forget where this is even useful, actually, now I think of it. Because you can't use it up there, but we will have to use that at some point. Yeah. To be fair, I did kind of try to warn you guys. The Lanryu mining facility is one of the more annoying dungeons in the game. Like, compared to the first two dungeons, it definitely picks up the puzzles and difficulty a lot here, because there's so many other stuff to get. In case you're wondering why I can't go into a different area, I believe that's because it won't open from its specific side. Well, okay, well, I don't have to worry about that part, because this entire room won't really activate its puzzle until after I get the Gust Bellows, which is, yeah, that's the item we're going for. So that means by default the item has to be here, since I'm blocked in both middle and right. Which I guess makes the entire process of it easier, but I still don't know what else to do. I feel like the only thing else I could do is just walk over here. Why did he just stop there? I was trying to get up. So yeah, we're probably left with no choice but to scout out a way to open this. Just so you know, you can't... Oh. I just realized I can hit it, but it's going to be a little bit different. Oh yeah, I just realized how to hit it. Because you can shoot through these with the slingshot. Though it may also be an invisible wall. Obviously, I have to line this up. That keeps feeling like it's close, but it's not. Way too low. Oh, well. This is actually a bit annoying. I'm gonna be right back for a minute. Every time I fail some of these puzzles, I feel like a Deus Ex on Earth, but also I also feel like they're hard puzzles. And yes, I remember now, I'm an idiot. You're supposed to destroy this thing with the box, not doing anything else. You see, when you don't play the game for a while, sometimes you miss basic stuff like that. It's just so annoying, so that's why I paused after that, so I could at least get the dungeon on. And there, as you can see now, we're actually able to freaking hit the time shift stone, finally. That took way too long to do. Now, obviously, we can't do it from here, so we're gonna make sure Link is turned around fully. And use the speed wheel to very quickly rush over here. And ram it into this area. As cool as it would be to use the chainsaw, I don't think that would work here. Now, doing all this reveals a new enemy in the form of the electric beamoses. They are very annoying and difficult to do, but if they're quick, you can usually kill them. The problem is, if they see you, they will start doing an outgoing laser tap that's pretty difficult to avoid. You have to stab the eye with a thrust and a right to kill them normally, at least that we know of. It's crazy how just one move of this entire area turns the area from a useless piece of nothingness that doesn't get anything done into suddenly it's a big... Suddenly, it's looking more like a mining facility. Yeah. These things can be kind of annoying to get by. Alright. Now, if these enemies do ever see you, then you can interrupt them either by attacking them first, or if they already got the jump on you, you can use your shield to stun them for a moment. At some point, we'll have to use the shield to hit multiple of them to stun them, because they will hit us almost immediately if we don't do that. There are a couple we could skip, but I prefer to kill them just because they're really annoying. They're in the way most of the time. And they're just really bad to deal with in general. These are some of Reese's favorite sections of the game, simply because, well, you have to wait for the stamina to go down. Also, later, as you can see, they start having 2 layers to them each before you can actually defeat them. It feels crazy seeing the area just turned into an actually bustling necropolis, whereas when you do it normally, it just seems like there's nothing going on at all. I find it quite crazy, actually. Oh, jeez. That's bad. And there are other ways to hit them besides other items, but the only way you can actually move them the way you want is with a different item that's already a secret item on top of that. And as you can see, this area creates an impenetrable barrier around the area that we can't get up. The only way we can do it is we have to climb up it from above. Thankfully, we can actually get up from here. We can use this guy to destroy the barricades, and this is how we actually get back to this area. Well, that was a decent recovery after making a crit. So this is Gust Valves, which is capable of going wind. I'm not showing a lot of the text boxes now because I've already seen so many of them once that it gets kind of tiring after a while. And now there's this mysterious chest here. We'll go ahead and open it up and see what comes. A blue bird feather. It's always really nice to get rare treasures for free because those are kind of difficult to find. Well, the blue bird feather specifically is not hard, but all of the other ones are trickier. I forget where else we have to go, but as far as I know, yes, there's a room to the left. And that's about it. There's not actually anything up there that I know of. So, the Gust Balance allows us to blow things around, hence its name. And one of the important things is we can blow these bombs out of the way and just move through it without doing stuff. In fact, this is your intended way of dealing with these guys, is to use that. So there we go. Use that guy to blow up the thing. One of the more annoying things is if you don't go fast enough on this particular part, it can get really annoying. Fortunately, those first little pads don't hold anything of importance right now. This, however, we do need to clear out. This is like basically a shortcut to the middle room. Now, the entire point of this area actually makes sense when you find out that how it's so badly dusty that it can just take a little while. Okay, so we want to get back to the outer room as fast as possible. I don't actually think there's a way back from the other side. I'm gonna drop down and try and dash over. Ugh, barely avoided them. Okay. I believe our map will be either to the left or to the right. I forget actually where it is, though. All I know is that our next setup will probably involve this block series we weren't able to push before. And there you can see that's how we open that door. In case you're wondering, yes, the scorpion enemies are basically altered versions of jellies. If they latch onto you, you have to shake the remote to get them off. That seems pretty easy to do in the Switch version, thankfully, though. There will be one other enemy that can be a bit more difficult to do. Oh, jeez, that was a bad bonk there. Just saying. So you can blow out multiple stuff in here to even find rupees if you get lucky enough. I'm actually kind of waiting for this guy to reappear. Classic, he's not reappearing, it seems like. Maybe it's one of those non-respawning ones. Well, that guy far away. Try to sip these guys. Or at least... we'll have to go over here, probably. Oh, jeez, that nearly trolled me. I did not know that I was there. Alright. So, this activates the platforms, allowing us to actually get through here, and we also see yet another new enemy appear because of that. It seems past and present in these different areas heavily alter the enemies, if you know what I mean. Heading either the left or right sides of the map that'll allow us to move these along, and for our next bit we have to move them along to the correct spots far enough to where we can jump on them. Could actually skip this one and go straight for the chest here, save a bit of time on this particular chest. And a monster horn, not bad. Now that I think of it, I think I might actually be stuck. I knew I had to go to that side for one of the other chicory things, but I think I'm actually stuck right now. Oh, that guy moves as well. Jeez, that was a bad idea, getting his attention. I know we have to do this like that, but I can't get that. Yeah, I definitely can't get that. We have to first flip the switch back so we can cross the area. Also, never mind what I said. There's not a lot of room to go anywhere here. If there was only a spot to stand here, it wouldn't be as bad. Oh, wait. I just remembered what it was. It also involves the gust spells. Thankfully, it was not too hard to remember, because after you get the gust spells or any other major item, the game usually expects you to be ready to use it right away. That's something I found out, and yes, these little windmill pins, they actually have to hold. These are not regular doors. Whatever I did in this game, it looks like doing the motions for the different motions are actually a lot easier to do on this controller so far. Because I've been able to kill those guys so fast. In the original game, I had a lot of trouble killing them. But also, we will see a new enemy in the form of this guy. We have to use our shield to hit him, at which he'll then throw two mini sentries out. We have to slash up on one and right on another, which will then trigger him to do the same attack again. Block it again, and he dies. See, when you think of it, they're actually a lot more straightforward than the BMOs, because when you're facing multiple BMOs, it gets really bad. And yes, we will be seeing multiple of them together later on, so it'll get much more difficult as the game progresses. It'll also get more difficult as I have to, like, climb stuff like this to get here, because then I could potentially do stuff. That being said, I could always look for where they are. Another pinwheel door. I think this is what opens our map room. Oh, chapter room instead. We have to defeat these guys again. That was bad. Ah, again. Okay, well, got the backup strategy. Alright. We can't actually finish this because there's another enemy we have to defeat, and this one is very trolly. You'll see more information if you taught to I'll actually show the fight animation specifically for this. I usually do not target an enemy more than once. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so many jelly bobs. That's only revealed the way to part of the trap. I'm gonna use a Skyward Strike to clear these guys out. Horizontal will be better, obviously. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. Okay, well, that's... Obviously that's not necessary, but I prefer to do it like that. Okay, one of these has got to have a switch somewhere. Maybe I'm missing it. Something has to have a switch somewhere. It's gonna be the big one, probably, but I can't tell which one is big, because it doesn't show me for some reason. Oh, wait. I just realized where it might be. Up top. It can't be anywhere I'm down, so the time shift stone has to be somewhere else. Without a time shift stone, we can't beat that baddie, and we're also trapped in the room, so we have to defeat all the enemies to escape. When I went over here, I initially thought there was going to be something here, but the game apparently doesn't care enough. And I find that kind of annoying. Sometimes I hate this game when, you just can't figure out a single little bit of the puzzle. Like, I knew how to push that, I knew how to push the other thing. I just can't seem to find the darn switch. You think it would be, easier to find than that? Clearing that just in case. What am I even missing? Oh wait, I can hit this through the wall. That might actually be the cap. Okay, yeah. Never mind. I found it. Well, this is gonna be an interesting use for the slingshot. Oh. There we go. I should have just remembered that I can shift stuff. Alright. Now our actual enemy is revealed, and in this arena, he is not easy to take out. In fact, this is one of the tougher enemies. Just to prove my point, I'm gonna have Fi look at this, so I can show you. Armos. Yeah, it's the Armos. It makes a return, but it's different looking. The security defense seekers of a stealth on tag go attack anything that enters its security panel. Records, its weak point is its mouth, but requires some specific measures to make it open its mouth. You have defeated 0 this enemy. Oh, okay, the trick still works. So, if you, do that and then open up its other stuff, you can trigger it to, open up its second spot early, and then use this to kill it quickly. Normally, if you do that, normally you're supposed to destroy the front part first. But if you destroy the front part, it'll do a pattern where it'll start opening up a little bit more after that. But as it opens up, it'll do an attack as you go through doing the setup. And each time you mess up that attack, you won't be able to really do anything else after that. So the idea is basically, if you don't kill the second part first, he gets really bad. I lost a lot of health to him the first time I faced him, like many enemies, but the strategy I showed you is the best way to beat him, because they seem to have a certain perimeter before they will run backwards, and if you run back and actually their animation or whatever, it'll make things a bit easier. We have not saved in a while. Time to go back and do that. Drop a quick save here. Now, the dungeons definitely do get longer. This one, probably one of the longer ones. Looks like we're gonna need another one of those things. Okay, that problem. That was kind of an interesting strategy to kill that enemy. As you can see, you can't actually make that, even if you tried. And there's no electric enemies this time, so we can't just walk across. Looking at the map, oh, it seems like there's... Oh, wait. It's one of those invisible things again. Only this time, we can't actually see where the walking spots are this time. They made it, basically the same thing, but twice as obnoxious now. Now, there is a little pattern where you can potentially, okay, that does lead to a chest, so I will want it, because it'll probably be another rare item. And yes, like I said, as part of 100%, I feel like it's not complete unless I show all of the items. So all the way over here gets us a chest. I'll ignore everything else because there's no point in going there. Alright. There's the goddess booms I mentioned, and more of these guys. And yes, there's gonna be probably a few more enemies that we have to deal with in rooms, so those are definitely not done. And our braced shield, as it is now known as, or the best upgraded wooden shield, is still going to have its use at some point. What I find really funny about this is I should be zooming in here, not in the regular fashion. The easiest tell is any of the direct areas you know by default. Oh, okay, nice. He just kind of vanished off. That's one way to kill, another way to kill a slime, apparently. Oh, that's the actual room we're trying to go to. But there is something over here, so we have to go over. Oh, jeez, that guy's doing the chill attack. Those always also make quite an interesting noise. What is even over here? That's where... Okay, the Amber Relic. Okay. At least there was that. Nah, I'm not gonna get that. Alright. Time to enter the other hidden room now. Oh yeah, that's right, you have to go down below. It's kind of unusual that we have to go this way instead of right. You can always look at the map, by the way, if you get confused at where to go in these mazes. These crawl mazes. And by the way, after we do finish this part, we'll get access to a lot of side quests. In my opinion, the game doesn't open up until after Lanryu mining facility. So basically after the initial free, and like in a lot of Zelda games, the world kind of just opens up to you after that. Alright. Okay, the chest I'm looking for is on the right, but we really just want to get to the left. While we clear this, we could just move through the maze normally. Alright, get rid of those guys. Clean this just so I can see where to actually go. There's our chest. But we got a jelly bob off that one. That's always nice. Oh, what's this do? Required! I almost forgot. That's right. We have to do that maze to get that spot. Also, it wasn't actually that bad of a maze, as far as we know. Well, if that's closed off, then by default that has to be up to you, because they can't give you no place to go. By the way, I'm not sure if you can boost over these things, though in different Zelda games, if you do things right, you can boost over the spikes. I don't believe those are those sort of spikes, though. So, if you boost in, there's a visible wall that just pushes you back or something. Well, at least there usually is. Oh, so now we're going to get something a little bit more interesting. So removing all of the sand from this reveals a little thing where if we pierce it, they'll then activate a mining cart that will then move automatically on its own. This is the first part of the so-called auto-scroll portion of the game. Oh, and when it cuts here, we'll also have to deal with another baddie, but not before also going here and pulling this one to us. Forget what else we need to do. Well, first we can head up here. And this is why I don't like these electric alleys. Because they do their thing more often, and they also have more stuff. I only did it because there were barrels literally right next to where I was. Okay, let's activate this bird statue. I'm not sure if activating all the bird statues in dungeons are required. I just know activating all of them in other areas, especially outside, are required. Okay. We can't actually attack this without dealing with this. If you take too long, those explode and damage you, but it's usually pretty easy to go in time. It's also one of the easier reflections to get. So doing this allows us to then remove this door. Which serves no real purpose in the actual game other than to get you back here, as far as we know. And this is a spot I mentioned where things can get a little bit chilly. Because these are where the Beamos actually cannot be defeated, so you have no choice but to block them. Each time you do so, their attack will get interrupted for a few minutes. Okay, that time was way too late there. By the way, they do go for your shield, so if you're not blocking them properly and you're too late, you just die. And yes, before I did that properly, or knew how to do that properly, I used to get trolled on this part all the time. Now for the first little bit, you can kind of just avoid them by staying near the edges. Or at least these ones you can avoid by just staying near the edges and then just running here. Then we can pull this, which will force it to the end a little bit quicker. Then we can use that to open this door, which will open the way back if we ever do come back here, which you probably won't. This spot, in particular, I feel like isn't required, but it is required if you want to get another chest, and and in case you didn't know, all of the cart things that you see from now on, those will be required to do other stuff. Alright. I think the only required one is actually the right, because, well, I believe that area is also the big key door. Yeah, it has to be. If that's where Zelda is, then that's where the big key is. So, doing this is actually required, now that I think of it. Okay, this one we can kind of do the opposite of. Instead of going into the area normally, or doing stuff the way we're intended to do it, we can just slowly move forward, jump to the side, and then as soon as this guy gets ready to spawn, we'll target him and just attack. Like that. The only reason we had to block the other two was, well, they don't start attacking us until we finish. I'll just spam the crap out of this until it starts actually spinning. Is it gonna push me out, by the way? Nice, okay. Okay, never mind, it didn't. That's good. We can't actually go back this way, so we have to first pull it to the end. To reset any particular mining crate, which is what makes it kind of annoying, you must first slap it on the side like this to turn it off, and then slap it again and it'll get moving again. This is where the game gets really long, in my opinion, because these parts are both auto-scrollers, so they take a very long time to clear. Not easy by any means. I forget how you get to the outside, but I'm assuming you're gonna get there from either up top or somewhere else. Yeah, because that one's blocked by another one of those things anyway, so we have to go a different way. So this was sort of the right way to go. Alright. I say sort of as in not necessarily the right way. But, well, it won't matter. Ooh, that's a new animation. Because he got blowed off, he didn't even do his when he fell for some reason. That's also a pretty funny animation, though. Link does a similar sound in other games, it just sounds better here. These guys we could just blow, which will cause them to usually fall off. Oh, jeez. Dang it. That guy is not going off, is he? Wow, we're gonna have to use the Shing Shot on him. Never mind. Can't use that either, so we actually have to take his attack then. Unless we can get out a different way, which we can, thankfully. Electric keys aren't as bad, since if you kill them fast, they won't ever attack you, but if they do get an attack off, then they get really bad. But you can just dodge that. Okay, so doing that force brings that to us. For Ryder. This is definitely one of the longer dungeons in the game. But we are almost done. This is the last major room we have to go into. Is also, I believe, where we'll find our boss key. Let's see what else we have to get up and where. Darn it, nothing but pots here? Okay. Oh, that same is being a bit more nasty. Throw that into the abyss for no reason whatsoever, just to have fun. Decent pattern there, able to move by really quickly. Well, that is blocked off, all of that, so we have to find the switch really badly, and it seems like it's on top. So I think is... Oh, okay, I found out where to go. Thankfully I didn't take too long to figure out. More bomb puzzles. As if we haven't seen enough of these already. Well, since this has now gotten a pretty long video, I'll probably stop after I finish this dungeon. And it is almost done, and the boss isn't that bad. I can defeat him usually pretty quickly. Alright, there we go. Now this is the switch that triggers the animation. See, now we have to face two of those jerks. For what is probably the boss key chest. getting really good at doing that particular kill, by the way. Just slapping them twice on the side. It's probably because I've faced hundreds of them in the original game that I've gotten to pretty much know their exact pattern and what to do with it. Now, the game does intend you to reveal a set series of... Oh, rip me. I have to defeat this guy on. I'm not gonna play. It's not a hard fight. It's just annoying how long it takes. Sometimes they throw it out in a different order too, so you need to be ready for that. Good. Gets that guy out of the way. Okay, there we go. Got the one in the corner at the same time as I got the other one. Saves a bit of time. So that reveals another mysterious puzzle, which you already saw a little bit of. And also, it's required anyways, because, well, we have to bring this thing to us in one way or another. We're gonna have to do it here. So, in case you're wondering, that puzzle idea, or at least the look of it, is actually a hint for the key as what to bomb and what order you have to bomb those things on the right. Until we do so, the door will not open. But if we do it right, then the door will open. And that's what leads to that other boss arena. And while we're here, we can also push this a little bit to the side, which allows us to do other things. So anyways, the puzzle is from, starting from left, or at least from its facing direction, is 2, 3, 1. This means, right, left, and then middle. Thankfully, we start on the right one pretty easily, so we can just throw that right there, and then pull out the bells to move it forward some more. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot. We have to also do other stuff. Well, let's walk up and hit it then. It'll then stay lit for a bit. Okay, well, in that case, I'll have to reveal all of them at some point anyway. Whoop. Fell down on accident. Don't know if that resends the thing. Of course, if we do fall, we just have that, so it's not bad. So this is one of the more obnoxious shots. Especially if you're doing a speed run, because you have to constantly switch between these items just to get the thing going. It's actually kind of annoying. It's not hard, it's just annoying how long it takes. I'm gonna take the save over here at the middle. By walking on that platform, if I fall off, I will now be able to respawn there if I mess up. Okay, now we're gonna pull out the slingshot and use it to hit the remaining targets. You can actually use different things to hit, but it's easier to use the slingshot, and I guess I'll just use the beetle for this one, since we have the faster version. Alright, hitting the third one at the right point causes the door to finally open. Then we have to use the gust bells one more time to actually make it back to where we started. Now you can see how annoying this dungeon is. It takes a very long time to clear, and yes, I do like showing dungeons in their entirety. Okay, so this one... By the way, there is a sort of a hint to this. If you go anywhere within the circle, that's what causes them to move forward. But if you step out of it, they won't be able to follow you. First part done. Either a horizontal or onto or poke will take care of them in each of those states. I honestly love this strategy I created for this enemy. Literally start spinning him when he goes away from you. It'll be easier if he actually faces me. Okay, just stall it here, waiting for this to open so we can take our big key, finally. It's about time we got this. Which is actually known as the Ancient Circuit. I'm just gonna nickname it the Golden Carving after each one. From now on, because it gets really obnoxious saying that different ones ends all the time. Is that still locked? I didn't see. By the way, I'm gonna attempt a shortcut here. Easy! Of course, I'm pretty sure they expected you to take that, so it's not actually that bad, but first time we actually get to do sort of a speedrun strategy. Basically skipped... Ooh, that's a beetle, or... No, what am I thinking? This is a cave. Of course it's gonna be a keys instead. Okay, we honestly do not need the second activation. I don't know why would we ever need that, so... We're gonna save some time by not getting that, block pushed, even though we could. And then over here, we'll find our final save point, for which we can actually, play for the thing. Which also leads to our final puzzle of the A. Alright, and go ahead and save outside on the bird statue. This one has a little bit of an obnoxious, problem if you do happen to fail this and have to go back to the statue, then it gets really bad. It's also one of the interesting puzzles. So all those wind blowers will push you off automatically, so you have to go super fast when you get to a certain blocker. Essentially move at the same speed as your thing does and then go over. If you don't do that, it'll never work. And you need this because, as you noticed already, you need it here, activated, by the way, so that you can have the carving open the door. And this is where my knowledge of the puzzles gets a little bit... Ooh, actually, never mind. I think I already figured out. I just need to get it right. Or, never mind. See, this is where the puzzles start getting really awkward, because now it actually looks like it should fit, but every time you do so, it actually doesn't fit. Okay, I need to a lighter side down on the downer end. If I don't see that, then by default I know it can't be that. I just figured out where it would be, though, so I might flip that. Okay, there we go. Did it without having to do other stuff. And that's not even the worst one, too. There's even worser puzzles than that. Still, I think it's really cool that you have to do that every time you want to go into a boss. Though it does get pretty obnoxious, because if you, because failing this boss, it's not that bad, but you would have to do the puzzle over again. So we need to make sure we kill this guy. Let's go ahead and do that. So in this area, we'll just kind of chill and do some stuff. And suddenly a monster creeps up behind us. No Gyrium this time around. We just get the big monster in the form of the 1,000-year arachnid. Moldark. Moldark is pretty straightforward at the beginning, if we can actually do stuff properly. To open one of its spots, and you can, each time it does open, it'll attempt to hit Link with one of the SotHs. If you can hit its open arm, then it'll allow you to do stuff. If the bigger claw hits you, it gets really bad. every time it does an attack, you have to walk back because it'll go through basically any of your attacks. Want to hit the big one first just because it's easier to hit. See that animation? Ooh, okay, that's one way of doing that. Okay, that's an unblockable one. We have health over there, so I'm not too worried. I'm just annoyed that this is taking so long. Okay, there we go. Finally got him. Are so low that we have to kill, literally destroy all of these to get health back. To make it easier though, I'm gonna only get a certain bit of it first and then kind of just do stuff. So there are two different ways to do the second phase. Either you can let him come up to you, or you can try and find him. If you find him, which the hint is the moving patch, then you will get the ability to pierce his eye a little bit. In my opinion, the second phase is not really that good, hard of a phase. Okay, except when it does that right away. Never mind, I should never have said that. Especially when the tail does frickin' 2 hearts of damage. How am I supposed to do that? Okay, well, this is now officially a bad fight. We have to, do that. I mentioned it's not bad if you can hit the eye. If you don't hit the eye, then things get bad. It also is kind of annoying to reveal them sometimes. But compared to the red boss, at least, this guy is definitely not easy by any means. Okay, we need to kill all these mini scorpions too. They're kind of getting in our way. See, this is what I meant, by the way, by the charge. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to pierce the frickin' thing. There we go. Jeez. If I just pierced the eye, I could have not sucked at this fight like I did, but honestly, part of that may have been intentional because we're gonna actually need an empty potion at some point, so I don't care. As long as we didn't use our big potion, I want to save that for later. Still though, if we had done more easier thrust, that would have been way easier. Because before, I did just pierce the eye multiple times much more easily on my original fight. I remember it was not that bad. So, seeing all of that is just bad. So, yeah, I kind of joked he's not actually that easy. He's more or less not hard. He's still hard, but not super hard. Like, Giryam, in my opinion, was harder than him because just of how annoying he is. Yeah, that's about it. He was definitely harder than Scaldera was, because Scaldera was super easy. This eye is much more compared to him, and... Oh. Seriously, of course we have to use the beetle at the end of this section. If I had not pulled out a different thing or, like, switched, if I just, like, went up to him, it would have been much easier. Now, you can block his claws to stun him, but they're the small one is extremely difficult to block. Only the middle one can be blocked effectively. You pretty much have to anticipate him doing that and then just immediately shake, or I guess if you, like, hear the sound, you could just mash this out of spite. And then, things can happen. So, yeah. The first part was okay enough, though. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't fast either. To really get a full fight that's fast enough, you have to block all attacks. And we get to hear the Zelda melody, and we're ending off the this episode with this cutscene. Of course, if that fight not been so slow, we probably could have been here at least 5 minutes ago. That further proves that I still need to practice this game a bit more. Also, I probably would have died fully if I was playing on hero mode, so it would have been a reset. That being said, I had my health potion, so I could have just healed, but still. And yes. Ooh, and speaking of which, so Zelda's trying to escape. Impa goes in to block here. Girium's trying to take the princess, basically. Your Grace, quickly to the gate. So essentially, Zelda is trying to go to the pass. Yoshi, here, you'll need this where you're going. But there's no time to admire it. That's all it says. Go, now. And, of course, the others we have to get in the way. Yoshi, go. Just go. You have my thanks, I'll leave him to you. I was wondering where Girium was. Turns out he was here the entire time. Yoshi, you must go now. Return to the old woman at the sealed grounds. Tell her what happened here. She will know where you must go. And know that I'll see you again. This isn't goodbye, Yoshi. I promise. So yeah, he goes through the sealed, this special gate, and then kind of just vanishes to patch. Now you've done it, Yoshi. I blame myself. I should have reprimanded you the last time we met. Instead, I take pleasure in punishing you, but I have no time for recreation. But next time, I'll do more than just beat you senseless. I'll make the affair so excruciating you'll deafen yourself with the shrill sound of your own screams. Yeah. Basically, he's saying, I should have killed you the first time we met, and now I'm gonna actually, try to do it more. Because he let us go, remember. He thought we were weak. But... Report, Master. I can no longer detect Zelda's aura. The moment the gate was destroyed, Zelda's presence disappeared from my readings. You can no longer search for her with your dowsing ability. Zelda's companion instructed you to meet with the H1 in the sealed grounds. This corresponds with the records in my memory. I propose we travel to the sealed temple. Which we probably won't actually do because there is actually something else we could do. In fact, now that I think of it, also, that barricade was finally destroyed. Alright. This save point. Touching a bird statue, and that'll be it for this video, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe again. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.